Hi, Ankit. Today I'd like to go over what we learned last time. Basically, I'm gonna start from the scratch. So, Java programming in Java is really important because it's like a father language of processing that I assume you already know about processing. Um, and Building projects in Java is really helpful when you deal with large scaled projects. For example, in Big Screens class, we use Java projects instead of processing application, because processing application doesn't hold enough pixels. Like Big Screens is really it's like the largest video wall in the world, so it contains a lot of pixels, and processing is just not enough to hold the graphics. So we instead use Eclipse and build the projects based on Java. Yeah, so don't worry about it because all the grammar is really similar. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna start now. So in order to start programming Java, you need to download Eclipse. So just search Eclipse in Google, and it's the first result coming from the Google, and download it from the downloads links, and then just get the standard Eclipse. As I said last time, there are a bunch of other Java versions. You can simply use other Java versions for specific use, like Android development, like and web applications. So for specific building purpose, you can come next time to this Java website, and then Eclipse website, and then download the specific version of it. Okay, and I typically use Eclipse for building phone application, like Android application. So I hope you do know about it, and then if you wanna make like phone application using PhoneGap, it's really easy to build it in Eclipse, not in Xcode, because Xcode, which is another development tool for Mac and just for the iPhone application, Xcode is really picky about all these setup thing, SDKs and graphics. So like compared to Xcode, I think Eclipse is much better. So once you download it, you have this icon, Eclipse. So let's click it. And this is the software where you can write the code and you can compile and then see the results of it. And the left column of the software shows all the recent projects that you've been working. So you can always go back to your most recent projects. And then this main part is where you write the code, and the bottom part, the console, is where you see the results. There's a tab called Problems, and it shows all the errors and warnings that you have. And the one beneficial thing about Eclipse is that it shows what's wrong about your errors and what's wrong about your warnings. It basically tells you the answer, like what to do in order to fix the error. So you can simply click this error message and then just do whatever it suggested. Then it will simply fix your simple errors. Let's create a Java project. So go to File and New and Java project, and name it as whatever you want. I'll do demo video. Alright. And then you can choose your default location to save all your Java files. And then don't worry about the other parts and just click the finish. Okay. now you have demo video folder. It contains all the class files that you're gonna write later. So basically this is empty for now. You need to put class files inside the source folder. So source folder is gonna it's gonna contain all the programming code files, and it has library files. Unlike processing, I mean, it's kind of similar. Like you are importing library file in processing application, you can just drag jar file inside this library folder. Then it's the way of importing library. So let's make a class file that you're gonna actually write the code. So click your Java project folder, demo video, and go to File, New, and Class. Alright, so see here, you can see the source folder. So this class file is gonna be saved in the source folder inside demo video project folder. You can name it whatever you want. I'm gonna name it as main, and make sure your first class file is selected as public, and you can choose this public static void main if you wanna write the main function as default. This main function is like the required function that you always need to have whenever you write the code. It's like it's like the main function. What can I say? Okay, it's like a draw function in processing. So inside the main, you can simply write println or like draw a rectangle, something like that. And besides the main function, you can add up other functions. So let's just not click it, and I'll show you the difference of clicking it and not clicking it. Let's just not click it and click the finish. Alright, we got this main Java, and it's totally empty. It's just public class main. And inside here, as I said before, you need to write the public static void main function. It's like the draw in processing. But let's make another class file just to show you the difference. I'll call it main2, and when you make a class file, and if you click this button, public static void main, and finish it, okay, we got another file, class. Yay! It automatically writes you the main method. So it's easier, right? You don't need to write it by yourself. Here it doesn't contain it, so you need to write it in order to compile the file. But yeah, this is easier because it writes for you. Okay, so like you see, you can have a bunch of class files, and then you can share the functions inside different class files. It's more advanced programming, but you'll get it later as you learn about it. I'm not sure you already learned about other classes in processing, but it works exactly same as processing different class files. Okay, so let's learn how to print. So print, it's really similar to processing. In processing, you just simply write println. Here in Java, you write system.out.println. It's slow. Okay. And then you need parentheses and quotation mark to write string hello world. Okay, so now you have println line. This will print the results on the console. So I mean it definitely gonna print hello world on the console. So let me try. In order to run your Java, here there is a green button called Run. You can simply click it. And let's see the console. Yay, hello world. It's working. And I'm not sure if you notice or not, but Java tends to tell you every single error that you are making. So even if you're not done with writing your sentence, it's telling you the error. But that's because you're not even finishing the sentence. So if you're in the middle of writing your sentence, then just ignore the X mark. And another good thing about Eclipse is that even if you're not done with writing, it gives you all the recommended list of functions that you might want to use for your writing. So yeah, I obviously need out to print, and as soon as I write out, it tells me suggested functions that I might want to use. Println, print, close, flush, append. All these are the useful errors, but right now I just need println. Okay, so I can simply click this and enter, then it writes it for you. Easy. And then it tells you to write argument inside the parameter. So here I'll write hello and kit. Okay. And let's see if I'm just done with my sentence. And it throws an error on the left side. It's a syntax error. Insert semicolon to complete statement. Yeah, so it suggests it's telling me the answer for fixing the error. So obviously I forgot my syntax error, so I wrote it, and then now the red X is gone. So let's run it again. Alright, now it's printing the two lines. Yeah, so this is really simple to just print out hello world and hello Enkit lines, and you can obviously write every of your code, everything inside the main function, just like you do in draw in processing. But sometimes you want to make another function that you want to call it from main. So I'm gonna make another function here. It always go with public static and the type variable. It could be just void if you don't want to return anything, or it can be int or float to return int or float variable. Right now I want int because I'm gonna write a function that calculates fractals for you. Oh, I mean the factorials for you. So I'm writing public static int, and I'm gonna call this function as factorial, and it's gonna get the variable argument int n. Okay, so now it's throwing me the error because I'm not returning anything. This method should return a variable type int, but I didn't type it yet, so it's throwing me error. Simply I can do this to fix the error. See, it's highlighted as gray because I'm returning the same variable type, int. Alright, but for now I'm gonna write a function that calculates factorial. You already know factorial, what it is, so I'm not gonna explain what this is about because you can just understand it. For loop in Java is the same as processing because processing is made of Java, so it uses same in syntax. So I'm writing a for loop to go over the factorial and calculates it. Yeah, I mean, as you read this code later, you'll understand what I mean by this, because you know what the factorial is. Yeah, so this is the simple function to calculate factorial. All right. So now let's print out. Let's call our factorial function in main, and let's print out the results of it. So I can simply do this. System.println and 5 factorial is factorial 5. Okay, so this will print me and calculate the 5 factorial. Let's run it, and yay, it says oh, okay, this is wrong because I didn't go through n in for loop. Here I need equal sign for n because it needs to multiply 5 1 2 3 4 5, but here I forgot about the equal sign, so 5 factorial 24, it shows that it only calculates from 1 to 4. Alright, so I changed the sign, and let's run it again. Yay, now it's correct. 5 factorial is 120. So it's basically multiplication of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It starts from 2, because 1 doesn't work for multiply. So 2, 2, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so it works. But I want to use another loop inside the main to print out all the factorial numbers from 1 to 5. So in order to do that, it's really simple. What I can do is I can set up a final int. Final int is it's like constant int in processing. I'm not sure if you've already learned about it, but constant or final int num is something that you're not gonna change later after you set it up. So if I set it up as 5, final int num equals 5, then I'm not gonna change this num variable. Like I can use num plus plus or num equals 7. I'm not allowed to change it because this int variable is final. I'm not allowed to alter any value of it. Yeah, it says the final local variable num cannot be assigned. So I'm gonna leave it like final int num equals 5, and I'm gonna write another loop. Goes to num and system.out.println I plus factorial is, you see I is variable, so I'm not using quotation to surround the I needs to just be there because it goes, it prints out the I value through the for loop, so I don't have to write it inside quotation mark. So what I'm going to do is I plus quotation factorial is, okay, factorial I. Alright. So I assume that it's gonna show me 0 factorial, 1 factorial, 2 factorial, 4 factorial. So, but I want to print until 5 factorial, so I might want to change this to 6. Okay, let's run it. Yay! I guess I assume that everything's right. So 0 factorial, 1 factorial, 2 factorial, up to 5 factorial. So it's really easy to create a main function that basically runs the main essence of your code, just like draw in processing, and you can make any other function, like additional functions, to call it up from the main function. So yeah, and then if you wanna run it as application, then you can just click this one. So feel free to play around Eclipse. Eclipse really easy. It's so much easier than processing for compiling because it tells you the errors and answers and stuff. And if you are planning to take big screens next year, then obviously start messing around in Eclipse because you're gonna use Eclipse for big screens. Yes, I hope this is helpful, and please let me know if you have any other question about Eclipse and Java programming. Thank you.